The positivity and the positive thinking, I think it happened after my injury. I really had to focus on forgiveness and either sinking down into my injury and everything that's happened to me, or just forgiving and moving forward and just doing it all in a positive light. I decided to forgive everyone involved in my shooting.
You get what you choose. I'm not going to let this one moment of my life define my entire life. It's like that whole, like, you have 10 seconds of your day ruin your day, and it spends the rest of your day being ruined.
If you're not true to you, what are you going to do for anyone else? Being human means experiencing life and not letting life experience you. Knowing and recognizing that you have the choice to make choices, and that is a power in itself. Like, we're one of the only species that have an opportunity to make choices over and over daily. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the power you have and use it for good.
Welcome to another episode of the Embracing Human podcast. I'm your host, Scott Stone, and today I have a very special guest. She is a model, dancer, content creator, and my favorite disabled baddie, Denisha Davis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. I'm so excited to connect.
Yeah. Man, I think back to the time we met. We met at the Phoenix Abilities Expo. And I remember walking around the show. At the time, I was running a marketing company and walking around with my camera, just looking to capture content and like these moments or whatever. And I spot you across the floor in this red, like 4x4 tracks, like accessible wheelchair thing. And you are just beaming.
Yeah.
Like, and that has been how I've known you ever since. Like, that is like a solid aspect of your brand is the light that comes through you is just unmatched. And I really want to start there because it has been an inspiration to me to remember that is a choice that I get to make.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. How did that happen? Like, have you always been like that, or did something shift that and you just chose that? Where did that come from?
You know, honestly, the positivity and the positive thinking, I think it happened after my injury. You know, after I sustained my spinal cord injury, I was hit by a stray bullet. And it's not like I was a nasty person before then, but after my injury, I really had to focus on forgiveness and either sinking down into my injury and everything that's happened to me, or just forgiving and moving forward and just doing it all in a positive light, you know? Mm-hmm. So I would honestly say it probably started in the hospital right after my injury. I decided to forgive everyone involved in my shooting.
Wow.
And I truly think that was very pivotal for me. I probably had no idea how pivotal it was, but forgiving everyone right there as I'm in rehab, never knowing if I'm ever going to walk again, going through what I'm going through. Everyone was coming in the hospital with all these different stories, and I had to set a boundary like, hey, you guys, I can't even walk right now. If you're going to come support me, I need you to come and support me in a way that'll help me recover. I don't want any he said, she said. I don't want any outside BS, you know? And I chose in that moment to just have a positive mindset moving forward. And it has truly changed the game for me. Like, I am that crazy woman that writes affirmations on her mirror. Like, why not? You have to get there at some point. Like, you have to rewire your brain into positive thinking sometimes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've done exactly that. Like with my injury, I had the chance to rewrite my story. Mm-hmm. And I did exactly that. I did more than a 360. I don't even know what's more than that, but looking at how my life was before to where I am now as a 30-year-old woman, like, you go girl. Like, it's hard. So it would be hard to not be full of light and happiness because I'm creating this for myself. Every day I wake up and I choose this, you know? When I have the negative thoughts, I have the ones I literally have replaced negative thoughts with positive ones. So whenever I start thinking the negative ones, I'll start just thinking of the positive affirmations I remember. Mm-hmm. And it's like gaslighting yourself into believing in yourself or into being happy. Right. You know, you have to. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And it's such a good reminder that, like, you get what you choose, you know? And I think often to this, it's Tony Robbins in one of his events, he talks about, like, people, they say like, what's the worst thing that could happen to you? And they're like, or they start with, what's the best thing that could happen to you? And they're like, win the lottery. And they're like, what's the worst thing that could happen to you? It's like, become a paraplegic. And they do a study and they say 5 years later, who's happier, the person that won the lottery or the person that's paraplegic? And the whole crowd's like, the lottery, duh. And then the other people are like, no, it's actually the paraplegic. Like it's a trick question. And Tony's like, neither. It's the person who was happy before. It's the person who chooses their own power. And you're like such a testament to that of like, I'm not going to let this one moment of my life define my entire life. It's like, that would be like, it's like that whole, like you have, 10 seconds of your day ruin your day and it spends the rest of your day being ruined.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be like one of those toxically positive people, but I do appreciate seeing the beauty in everything.
Yeah. It doesn't seem toxic. It actually seems very genuine.
And it is. It is because it could all be so simple, Scott. Like everyone's like, how do you do it? I'm like, I wake up and I choose it, And people are like, you have affirmations on your mirror. Not right now. I don't. I just moved into my new space and I'm just like, you know what? Let's see what I've retained.
Yes.
But it just makes my life so much easier. Like imagine if I was back in the hospital and I decided to just hate everyone. The thing is, I would have had to hate everyone involved because there were so many people involved in my shooting. No one's going to be like, hey, it was this person because snitches get stitches. I would have had to hate so many people.
Right.
And I just don't have that in my heart. Like there was a point in my life, I took the word hate out of my vocabulary just to be more intentional with the things that I say, because I truly don't have any hate in my heart. I don't even hate tomatoes anymore. Like food, like
tomatoes.
Hate. I mean, people who abuse people and people who are evil, sure, I despise you, but like, you have to be careful with what you carry in your heart, know? And my intention is to not have, like, I think you can see what my intention is and how I intend to move in the world. And every day I meet new people and I'll connect with people and they'll share what you share about like my light and stuff. And they're like, you see me in a different way. And I'm like, I just see you. Like, I'm just here in this moment and I'm invested in you, like I'm just invested in this moment and getting to know who you are as a person, because what if we don't even get a chance to see each other again? And it costs nothing of me, like sharing my light and my happiness. It costs nothing of me. It's what I do. They're like, in life, you need to find your purpose, your dharma, Mine is truly just being who I am as a person. It's just being who I am as a person and sharing that and just connecting with people. I know that's bare minimum, but I get to wake up, be me, and have this effect on people without giving anything other than my time and my energy, Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's, like before we hit record, we were talking about like living in the flow, like the ease that occurs by just living in the flow of life and this seamlessness. And obviously, like, I'm sure you have hard days or hard moments or whatever you want to call it. And yet to still like choose to live in a way that is, I don't even want to call it of service, because it's not like you're doing it to serve. It's just you're living, and that is service.
To myself, if any, like I'm being authentic and true to myself so that I can better serve humanity itself. Like if you're not true to you, what are you going to do for anyone else? Yeah. Like you can go out there and do all the things for all the people, but what is that? Like, what about you? Who's taking care of you? I feel like being of service to myself first helps me be of service more authentically. And then it's just at ease. I think you just said it's like, it's not even being of service. It's just literally existing in my purpose. Yeah. And even when I am of service or if I'm volunteering and stuff, it doesn't even feel like I know I'm making a difference, but it just feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like we're all here to make the world a better place. Maybe not everyone, because some people are here literally to just breathe. And that's okay, because not everyone has to be doing something so grand. Like, and I do think like with all this grandeur and things that are happening, people do need to realize that it's okay to not be trying to save the world. Like you don't have to go save the world right now.
Yes.
Because just getting through the day, sometimes just getting through the day is enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you have in you.
Yes.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. It's so
I
good.
appreciate you creating the space for this also, because like living alone, I mean, I talk to people, but I'm not really, it's really good to connect with like-minded individuals who speak the same language as you,
Mm-hmm.
because you know that it's going somewhere. You know, like you're not just wasting breath and energy, and you actually understand the words that I say, and you actually understand the words that I say, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and I just, for me, like you were talking about, and I want to touch on this because I think it's really beautiful. You were saying like this is the first time you just moved, first time you've lived alone since you left Iowa, right? And talk about how many people in not even necessarily a similar situation as you, but also me, right? Human that is afraid to live alone. Of what does it mean if I'm going to be by myself, or what happens if you fall out of your chair, or what happens if the Wi-Fi goes out, right? Things that we all deal with. And to hear this story and be like, dude, this girl is crushing it. Like she's in her own place. She's dialing it in. She's getting, like I was watching a video of you on Instagram and you were like, watch this, and tap that thing on the wall. And you're like, my door just opens, and it's like, it's amazing, and the excitement, and just to see what people can have through the effortless aspect of us getting to share this conversation. I love it.
And it's what happens when you take advantage of the resources around you. There's so many resources out there in the world, not just California. Everywhere you are, there are resources. If you just do research and ask for help, like if you see someone that's where you are, it's like, hey, I don't need you to tell me exactly how you got to where you are, but if you have any resources that could help me, please send them. And just taking that little bit of initiative got me here. Like if I never would have asked my homegirl, like, hey, if you have any resources that could help, and then she sent them, and I used them. She could have sent, you know what I mean? Like she could have sent it and I didn't have to do anything with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens, like when opportunity meets whatever, when preparation meets opportunity or something like that, when you're just ready for the opportunity that's there, And then Scott, I've been so attached to but it's a thing, right? You have to be prepared. And I feel like I'm constantly working and elevating my life just so I can be prepared when the opportunity comes.
Yes.
But yes, taking advantage of your resources and just doing the work. Like you can't just manifest. You have to do the work. Okay. You got to do something, right?
Yes.
And honestly, I do recommend manifesting. We're not even there yet, but I do recommend for manifesting and something and creating the life you desire, write out your desires.
Yes.
Write it out. Don't even just open up your notes and start typing it in your notepad. Get a pen and paper and write them out. Let the universe show like what's in your head. Let them know like you gotta get it out there, Scott. Okay. And some people just don't understand the power that we have.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh, sorry. Did I?
No, I 100% agree with you. And when you said that opportunity meets preparation, like what I heard so clearly was like, so many people could look at your situation and be like, oh my God, she's so lucky. And that's the definition. When preparation meets opportunity, that's called luck.
Okay.
When you are ready for life already to meet you, and life says, here you go. You ready? And you're like, hell yeah, I'm ready. I've been preparing. And boom, here's this apartment, or boom, here's this modeling contract, or boom, here's this dance squad, or boom, like here's this video going viral. I remember that video of you getting in, was it a semi truck?
Yeah, back in the day.
How many views did that thing get?
So many,
Millions?
so quickly. That one, I don't know if that one hit 1 million. I had a couple that did, but that one specifically, I don't know. I'm still getting likes on that one.
Of course. Of course.
I didn't expect it to be so powerful, but you just never know how the message is going to deliver.
Yes.
You can post something that had your intention was just to post it because you felt like you looked good. And then it just does this whole thing, and it's just like, you just never know how the message is going to deliver to people.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Tell me what it's been like, the journey of independence, both, learning post injury, but also to the point of getting your own apartment and all that?
The journey has been a journey, okay, in itself, because for one, I moved from Iowa 6.5 years ago. And when I moved from there, I had my own apartment. I had just had my own apartment for a year for the first time ever in life. And then an opportunity presented itself in Arizona. And my best friend was like, hey, come live with me in Arizona and nanny for me. And then that's when my journey started. Like, for one, I lived with someone other than my mom and my family. And then that's when the roommate journey began. Because after then, I started moving. I love being someone who travels a lot and just moves around a lot. And I want to see the world, you know? I think the toughest part for me and how independent I am, like living with all the different roommates I lived with, I had to get used to so many different personalities. And they not only did they have to adjust to my disability, but I had to adjust for the way that they live that could affect my disability. Like just me coming out from my bedroom, going to the kitchen, and I have to run over all this stuff because the person I live with just isn't, they're human.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't clean up right after themselves every single time. So also, I do want to mention, I learned to be independent very soon after my injury. There's this place called QLI, Quality Living Incorporation, and they're based in Nebraska.
Mm.
That's where I went right after my injury for in-house rehab. Like that's where I learned to bathe, to go get my nails done, to go to school, to take the bus. Literally, that place is where I learned to be independent. And I took that with me because when I got to them, I'm not even gonna lie, there's like bowel and bladder issues that we go through, right? And I was still so fresh after my injury that when I got there, I was having issues. But I was so spoiled at the hospital that they would come clean me up so quick,
Mm-hmm.
I got to QLI my first day. I had an accident and I called them and they're like, we appreciate you calling us, but what are you calling us for?
Wow.
This is my first day. Like I just got dropped off.
I feel like I just saw your eyes in the exact way that you looked at that phone, like, oh shit.
It was a big adjustment. Even in that first day, I had showed up and I was using a sliding board to help me transfer to get from one area to another.
Mm-hmm.
That same day, I let go of the sliding board. I learned how to wipe my own butt. Like literally that first day changed my life so much. And from there,
Wow.
it was only up, but it's only because like I did what I could with the resources I had.
Yeah.
Like, are there ways that I could look back and think like there are plenty of things I could have done there differently, Everything is as it should be, Scott. But like I could have focused more maybe on my physical recovery.
Yeah.
I focus more on living life independently because I love living an active life,
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in rehab, I took advantage of all the outings and all the things I could learn to do by myself because that's what I seen is like, how am I going to continue to live life? Like I'm 18 years old. I didn't get to do anything.
Wow.
So I went to Nebraska and I was very focused on getting back out into the real world rather than learning to walk again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that could have been focusing on living an active life while in a wheelchair and being independent, that could have changed the trajectory. Like, could I focus on walking more? Or look at the woman that I am now and I still can get to there if I need to at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But with who I am as a woman and the things that I've learned there, I'm truly so grateful because a lot of it did come from that moment in time. If you have another question, you should ask it because clearly I'm just going on and just like spiraling.
It's
have I
great.
even answered the original?
I love it. It's it was such a treat to hear you talk about what you chose to focus on afterwards, like getting back into living life versus, and I've seen so many, having been in working in the disability community for so long of like, SCI happens and then it's like, I have to walk again. Like I have to do this. This is what defines me. And if I don't do this, then, X, Y, or Z label or blah, blah, like meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to like back burner that in a way of like, hey girl, like I'll get to that if that's what we need. But right now, getting back into living fully, like that's priority number one. So we're going to focus on that.
It's a big deal. And I don't think I even knew how big of a deal it was till now. Like I have goosebumps, like thinking about it because I can be hard on myself when it comes to my recovery. And I honestly realized the other day that as all the working on walking again that I've ever focused on, I think it's to prove, like, to make the people proud back home,
Mm,
back in my hometown, because they were so supportive. I don't know if I ever, uh, like, sure, I'm always like, this is my year, but I don't know if I've ever been like, gosh, I have to walk again or else my life is over.
right.
And I just, I don't know because I'm so strong in so many other ways where it's like
Mhm.
you've been in your chair for 11 years and there are people who are still so new in their injury and they're like walking and stuff already. But
Mhm.
like I'm not I compare myself a little bit? Obviously, a little, but I'm not shaming
Sure.
myself.
Right.
Like I'm rooting for them. I'm using that to inspire me.
Hmm.
Like I'm 11 years in, I could very well just say, "Hey, I don't need any more physical therapy. Like I'm all therapied out." But I'm smart enough to know that I barely know anything,
Mm.
and that with guidance, it makes a difference. It just makes all the difference.
Hmm. Oh, I love that. It's two things really came through there. One is what I've gotten to witness through social media and like the commitment you have to, like, when you feel like you want to work on walking or getting on that treadmill or getting on that pedal bike, like you go for it,
Hmm.
and to know that it doesn't define your worth or your, who you are or whatever. One is like a great reminder for the days on which I'm like goalposting myself of like, no, I got to get to there or else, And so thank you for that. And the second one is like, right before we started this, I was saying like, I've been in therapy for 4 years and I don't see it stopping anytime soon, and there's no shame in that. Like, I feel very grateful that I have that support and I don't feel therapied out. And maybe that day will come someday. And, to also admit, like, I don't know much about anything,
Yeah,
and,
right. Yeah,
and I
yeah.
get to be excited about that in a way of like, man, I get to meet these parts of myself. And I shared it earlier, like going through this breakup, like I'm getting to meet parts of myself that I have not had to confront in a long time. And I didn't have the tools to confront them when I was single previous. And so now to be like, oh yeah, that lonely part, like I literally was in meditation this morning and I remember sitting there. And I'm so glad you said what you did about the word hate, because I was sitting there and I was like, oh, that lonely part's coming in. And I was like, God, I hate him. And I was like, whoa, like you hate the part of you that's lonely, bro? That's why he's lonely, because you hate him. And I was just like, damn, like,
You've been doing the work though.
whew.
Like you've been doing the inner work to be able to catch yourself in that moment and stop yourself. That's where the power is. That's because there's the knowing versus doing gap. Like you know better than to think about things like that. But then you think about it and you pull your like you recognize or you're aware, you're conscious of it, and you
Yeah.
can pull yourself back out of it. Like, and that's where a lot of the healing comes in, like self-awareness and actualization. Like not everyone can do that, can recognize that and bring it back. Like you recognize that and then they'll just lay into it.
Some days I am falling down the hill. There is no stopping that roll. And some
Yeah.
days I'm like, oh, buddy, like we don't even need to worry about getting up right now. Can we just stop rolling down the hill? Like I'll
Hmm.
sit with you right here on this hill, bumps and bruises and all. And like, we don't have to get up and walk back up that hill right now. Like you just fell down a hill. How's that feel? Oh,
Are you okay?
it hurts, like, yeah. Oh,
And you mentioned therapy. I haven't had my therapy journey yet.
mm,
Like it's not for lack of trying. Let me tell you, last year I was going through it, thought it was all set up, and then they were just it was a psychiatrist that just wanted to give me meds. And she's like, so you don't
sure.
need meds? And I'm like, no. And she's like,
What do I do here?
yeah. And I'm like, I thought this was like behavior, talk
Mhm.
therapy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm doing well enough on my own. I'm damn near a therapist at this point. But I put so much time into healing because I'm not going to therapy because I haven't found I'm telling you it's not for lack of trying. Like it's just not for
Mhm.
lack of trying, okay? But I will chat GBT to death when
Yeah.
it comes to how can I as a 30-year-old Black woman begin to heal? And they'll
Mhm.
give you some surface level stuff. I'm like, no, I want inner spiritual work,
Mhm.
First thing they recommended was writing a letter to my younger self.
Mhm.
oh my gosh, you know, like I was writing in the first sentence I wrote, I broke down. I just wrote like, hey, baby girl. And I just started crying. I didn't even
Hmm.
know what was about to like be written on that paper, but just acknowledging her.
Hmm.
Cause I'm quick to say like the little girl in me grew up so soon. Like there is no little girl. She never got a chance to be the little girl. But as soon as I was just like, hey, baby girl,
Hmm.
she was triggered. She was channeled like right then and there.
Yeah.
You know, like they're always present.
Yeah. 100%. It's like, you see me, you're like, yeah. And I know I haven't, I know I have been too busy or distracted or haven't had the tools. And yes, I see you. And she's just like, I've been carrying all this. And you're like, oh, and I love that. And I love that you've become the practical psychologist, and found the tools you needed in the ways that worked for you, because at the time the resources either weren't there or didn't work for you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you found a way. It speaks, when I just keep coming back to this because it's so incredibly powerful. The forgiveness thing, right? Like, one of my favorite definitions of forgiveness is giving yourself the apology you'll never get. And for you to do that in that moment, like, what I heard in that is Denisha was no longer a victim to life. And what that allows for is for you to be powerful again and to create, because so many of us, and this has been really coming through vividly in my experience lately, is like, when we lose our innocence in life, we're powerless, and then we cannot create with any power. And so for us to go back and reclaim that innocence in those little versions of us and be like, hey, like, that wasn't fair. You didn't deserve that, like that, and to hold them, and they release these burdens that they've been holding. Like, we just naturally, whether it's are more vital or more awake, like more aware, like it's not a strategy game. It's not like oh, I need to do all these things. It's like, no, just let go of what you've been doing, and then that powerful, like, limitless being that came through in that child form, he and she is still there. They're still like, okay, let's go.
100%. And people just don't even realize the power that they have. We have all the power. And it honestly just comes from believing. Like if you're not going to believe in anything outside of yourself, just believe in yourself. Like
Mhm.
that in itself can get people so far. Because you ask people, do you believe in yourself? Not right now, I don't. Or not,
Mhm.
or what? And I get it. Life isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
Mhm.
And self-deprecation can be easier than positive affirmations and rewiring your brain. But I just feel like the positive thinking and trying to get yourself out of actively being self-aware and knowing what you're thinking and like trying to change the course of your thoughts, that can make all the difference. Like,
Mhm.
of course, it's way easier. I hate him. They're annoying. They do this. They make me feel this. Sure, it's easier to just say that rather than, why am I reacting this way? Or just, it's like, it's not always an outside source. You're feeling the way you feel because of who you are as a person as well. And
Mhm.
I wish that people just took accountability more. Like you're requesting all of these things from your partner, whereas you're not even giving it to yourself or giving that to your partner. Like I have a couple girlfriends. I have a sister. Oh, let me hold on. Don't get too specific. I have a couple girlfriends, right? I have a couple girlfriends and you guys are just toxic. Like you'll call me venting about your relationships and I'm like, okay, but did you? Okay, but did you? Okay, but did you? Like, are you taking accountability? Are you apologizing? Are you doing what you need to as a woman or are you just blaming your man? Denisha, this isn't what I asked for right now. Okay, well, okay, okay. Because it's just hard, like someone will tell me a story and it's just like, I know why this is happening. This is why this is, can you not see this?
Mm.
And some people are just so wrapped up in their own veil of who they are that they really can't see
Mhm.
their own traits. And that is hard for me
Mhm.
because I don't know how to I don't know what it is. I guess talking to me is like looking in a mirror,
Mhm.
like And it kind of does revert back to just being a listening ear to people. But
Mm-hmm.
also, it's like, woman, to an extent, I'll be a listening ear, but you're kind of, that's not going to be the word I'm going to use. You can be a listening ear to an extent,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But
100%.
also, to an extent, my friend the other day, she was venting to me. And after we hung up, she was like, okay, she texted me. She's like, you're going to be my new priest. I am more than a dumping ground.
Mm-hmm.
I am more than just a dumping ground.
Yes.
And I just
Right.
ha-ha'd it. I could have just said, hey, I'm more than a dumping ground, but I just ha-ha'd it. But it's like, please see me as more than that.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
like I would have been a psychologist. Like that would have been, if I went to school and did what I wanted, that's what I would have been. But now I don't know if I can detach.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that needs to be gotten into too, detachment, the law of
Mm-hmm.
detachment,
Mm-hmm.
but like if I were a psychologist now, I don't know if I could detach without just caring so much. It's hard. It can be hard. Like when it can be hard.
Yeah. No, it's what we talked about before we hit record was like this idea of listening and holding space. And, there's a really important distinction here. Like a lot of people, when they work on their listening and they feel like a safe place to come to, a lot of people, for me, example, will come to me and they will dump all their problems on the table. And there's an interesting thing about listening where, like when like we say like, hey girl, like, do you notice what you're doing? And have you thought about this and all this stuff? It bolsters the ego in a way that's like, no, see, like I need to fight for this now. Now that fight or flight, well, I'm going to use it right here in front of you too. And instead, when nothing happens, sometimes someone will dump a problem. They'll like go into trauma dump or like vulnerability hangover feel, and they'll dump all their problems on the coffee shop table, and I'll just sit there and not say a thing. And they're like, oh shit. They're not validating me right now. They just saw all this stuff come out. I guess I should just grab all my problems and put them back in my bag. And it's like, why did you dump them out? Did you just want to be seen, or were you looking for a solution? Because I'll validate your problems and say, hey, I hear what you're going through. But if and this has been a really helpful distinction for me, that I have brothers in my world that will call me out. And after the sixth or seventh time of me saying the same thing, they will literally say, bro, you're looping. And it's so triggering.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you talking about? Be like, you're complaining about the same thing again. Here we are again. Here we are again. You're looping. What's going on under this? What's really the issue here? And I'm like, how dare you actually get to the issue? I just wanted to be a victim. And it's like, okay, well, and to your point about emotional trash canning, I was thinking about this while I was making my avocado toast this morning. It's like, are they emotionally trash canning you, or do you feel like a trash can? Like, damn it, like, because that's the hard thing to be like, hey, like, I appreciate you feeling safe enough to share here, but I feel like this is one-sided, or I feel like this is always how you come to me. I feel like you don't hold space for me, and people be like, oh, I feel called out, being like, good.
What do you do with those friends? Nothing. You just love them.
That's the thing, right? And this is kind of like the stinging part is like, are they really a friend?
Yeah.
If that's the way the relationship occurs, like I have a close friend who calls me when he's in a hard time, but when I'm in a hard time, he does not listen. He just tells me what to do. And it's so infuriating. I just want to hang up. And I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm not even sure if he's really a friend. Homie calls me when he's struggling, but when I'm struggling, he just tells me what to do. That's not really how I want my friendships to occur, And so there's some hard realities I've had to come to look at of like, is that really what I want my model of relationship to look like? Because it's what it has looked like, but I don't really want that model moving forward. And so I have an opportunity to have a hard conversation and be like, hey man, and I did actually once. I called him out and I was like, bro, I feel like you never listen. I feel like all you do is tell me what I should be up to, and you don't actually give a shit. You just want to be validated about the solution you can give me. And that's my perception and my judgment and my projection. But I just realized that you're not the guy to call. And he was like, damn. He's like, I'm so sorry, dude. Like I respect you so much that I just want to contribute to the level you contribute to me. And so I try to tell you what to do so I can feel like you care. And I was like, damn, like, okay. that makes more sense of the pattern we're in now, like, and for us to have more real conversations is a product of it.
To be able to have that type of conversation with a brother of yours, though, or even just a friend, that's so powerful in itself. That shows like what kind of level of friendship you guys have, because
Yeah.
friend I'm referring to, I would never even dream about saying something like that, just because I know the type of friendship we have. So I feel like if I were to say that, we might not even be friends afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, have you lost any friends lately? Not like they're still here, still well in the world, but
Mm-hmm.
like childhood friends that you're not friends with anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you know how disheartening that is sometimes?
Yes. Quitting smoking weed, I didn't realize the grief that I would navigate because of the friends that I had in my life that I only just smoked weed with.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any relationship with them other than getting high. And that was like really tough, because I actually sat with that version of me for a while and was like, hey, X, Y, and Z, they're probably not going to come around nor hit you up. And in fact, when you go home to visit your family, you might not even hit them up.
That's the big one. Like going home to visit family and not even like seeing friends and stuff. Like each year that I'm gone, the more I go home, the less people I see. Like you just feeling that distance happening, but it's, goodness.
Yeah, it's tough. And the healing path is a lonely road, like, because most people will never walk it.
Mm-hmm.
They want to talk about why they should, or the reasons that others should, even more so. If my parents just went to therapy, if my partner would stop doing this, and
like self-actualization. Just look in the mirror, and looking in the mirror is not enough because apparently you're looking in the mirror every day and stuff. But if people could just take accountability for the part and real accountability, not like, oh, I know there's things I could work on. How about you get into those things?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
It could just, I don't know, I'll probably be single for a long time just because I'm so aware of who I am as a woman. And I'm so in tune to other people as well. Like, not to think that I know everything, but I am very conscious and aware of my surroundings. Like, I have a superpower, I call it, is to be able to hear the things that aren't said.
Sure.
Like, yeah, you just said all this, but what I feel in your body language and what I see is this. So, and I can literally get answers just from being aware of what's around me. And you can just see what someone's going through, and just by a look in their face or the way they're like hunched over, or just little things you can pay attention to. In relationships too, like, just pay attention to the things that aren't said, because sometimes those are the loudest,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, relationships are an interesting one, and I don't just mean intimate ones. I mean, parental and siblings and close friends, and like, we post-COVID, like we live so much in a more separated and alone state than ever before. And so this aspect of how do we really connect? And it takes the bravery and the courage to be vulnerable, to be seen. Right. And that's where relationships to me is like you want to grow, get in a relationship, because they will ultimately, after all of the things, after all of the protection mechanisms fall down, they will see the ugly parts that we're doing everything we can to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that's the tough part, is them mirroring back the body image stuff or the bank account stuff or the, and that was a big thing for me in my last relationship. Was like, they mirrored back some things about me that I still have not found peace in. And that was really a big part of the reason I split up, because I chose it. It was like, I want to go look at these things and I don't feel like I can do it in this container. I'm projecting it onto you, and that's not fair. This has nothing to do with you. And I don't want you to take on my own narrative. And so I'm going to go deal with this and like love on these parts of me, and maybe it'll come full circle. Maybe we'll come back around. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But, I think, when I think about this work, right, like most people don't want change. They want relief. They just want to feel better. But real change work is changed behavior.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, is because that ego is like, no, this is not my problem. It's not my fault.
And it sucks when that's the thought process of someone you love.
Hmm.
Like, oh man. And yeah, and this is where what's love got to do with it? Love has a lot to do with it, but if you can't do the work or you won't do the work or you're stuck in a constant loop, it's like it's hard for me as a person to just to stay. What I will stay though is as your friend. But to we don't have to be in this relationship. Like we do not have to be boyfriend and girlfriend for me
Hmm.
to help uplift you or for us to support each other. You know, like when I can see that I don't and some people are just so codependent, you know, like having a girlfriend is the best thing that they can have. And then they'll make their life revolve around that person or something, or boyfriend, you know. And I don't want to be the center of someone's world. Like I need you to have your own world,
Right. Yeah.
you know, like I need you to have your own world
Mm.
and your own level of confidence too, because I'm all about reaffirming, but I can't have you asking me every other hour if you're worthy of me because
Mm.
what?
Yeah.
Do you think that me, as the queen that I am, I'm going to be with the man that doesn't know his worth or with a partner? But you cannot ask me every other hour about your worthiness. I need
Mhm.
you to know and be content with who you are as the man. You know, like I can only do so much for you. Like I want to help you find that king part within you, like the strength, you know?
Mhm.
I'd rather help someone find that within themselves than me be the focus of the world and just take like yeah you'll shower me with all of these things and all of these gifts and will I appreciate it? Sure, but I know your heart needs some healing and I'd rather work on that. You know,
Mm.
like the material things, they're great, but this is a season of healing. It's been a transformation journey, you know, like
Mhm.
since I started my healing journey, it's just been a period of magnificent transformation
Mhm.
non-stop. And it's like, when does it stop? Why should it? Like we're just tapping, the more you heal, the more you tap into your inner powers, you're just going to keep elevating and you're just going to keep touching higher powers and higher
Yes.
levels of yourself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that's
You
the best
mentioned,
part about life.
yeah. No, you mentioned a word there that I really want to touch on, or I would love for you to share upon deeper. The word was confidence. And I was curious, my guess is post injury, you had an opportunity to create a whole new persona of Denisha, a whole new way of being in the world. And so what I was wondering is what did that look like to find confidence in yourself again?
I honestly, it wasn't hard. I say it wasn't that hard because I had the confidence before my injury. And
Okay.
so my personality,
I
like
can see that.
if you see my pictures and stuff pre-injury, like and my mom, she was always big. I'm like, here, let me take a picture of you, you know? So I was always big. As soon as the camera's out, I'm like posing and doing a thing and everything, you know? So that was always there before. But after post injury, and I still get messages till this day, what did you do to become so confident? And I just started taking pictures in my wheelchair
Mm,
because a lot of people, they're like, I don't know how to take pictures in my wheelchair. How did you do it? I just started, you know? And then also shopping and clothes. So when I was in the hospital, I remember just going to therapy and stuff. I was swollen. I had gained so much weight. And the clothes that I was wearing every day were just hospital clothes.
mhm,
Imagine how I felt every day waking up, unable to walk, bathe myself. I can barely sit up and I'm wearing these ugly clothes.
mhm,
That's where it started. I asked my godmom to go shopping for me and to get me some clothes that weren't hospital gowns and nurse scrubs. And she ran to Walmart for me real quick and she came back with leggings and shirts and stuff with clothes. She came back with clothes. I was in the hospital for like a month and a half wearing only hospital stuff, you know?
wow,
And that was a big game changer. So just finding the clothes that fit my body and where I can express myself and caring about how I look,
mhm,
that made a difference. Like if you care about how you look and you put the time into it, you're going to feel good. You look good, you feel good, you
mhm,
know?
mhm,
And really I care about my appearance and I think it makes the difference.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also the smile. I don't really got to do much, but like that's my outfit. You know,
Yeah.
like it doesn't. That's the confidence. And even when I'm not feeling confident, I'm smiling. Like you got to fake it till you make it sometimes. And
Yeah.
I did. Like it's so hard. Like all of my friends after my injury, they were all able-bodied. I didn't have any disabled friends until I moved to Arizona and I found Ability 360.
Yep.
You know, I was disabled
Dope
for
place,
years.
by the way.
You said what place?
Dope place, by the way.
Magnificent. I can't believe there's not something like that here in California.
Yeah.
Like that actual facility changed my life. What?
Yeah.
I probably learned about where did we meet? What convention
Abilities
was that?
Expo.
Oh, the Abilities Expo. Yeah, and I probably learned about that through the Ability 360. And it's just
Totally.
community.
Mm-hmm.
We're all we got sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a side note.
Yeah.
It is a side note, okay?
Yeah.
So we have all of our advocates and stuff in the community. Personally, like we got our advocates out there, and more power to them.
Yeah.
But I experienced. I went to a Jennifer Hudson show the other day, a live audience show, and the fan experience. It just wasn't the same for a person in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And it was so bad that I had to write them a letter.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah. And I've never done something like that before. I'm like, it's okay. Or like when it comes to accessibility stuff. But these days I'm like, one, how about I speak up for myself? And two, how about I speak up for those that can't?
Yes.
Because we deserve so much better than what she gave us. It's not just the Jennifer Hudson show. I'm sure any show that plays right there in that audience, they have to go through that. Like it's any live audience for the Warner Brothers station that's there.
Yeah.
It was very, what's the word? It was very discouraging. Yeah. Like it completely segregated me. Like, so there's the live audience and they're up there like in bleachers and there's 5 steps to get up there, but you can't go up them unless you can get yourself up and down in case of a fire, which I can't do.
Yeah.
And there's only one railing. So because there's only one railing, I really couldn't do that. The disabled where the wheelchairs go. So up above, back behind there is the stage where the cameras are and they're interacting with everyone. That's where the live audience. And then they have me down here on the production floor with the production set. All the cameras are going back and forth trying to get the views. And they're standing right in front of me like so many times before the show started. I'm like, hey, please know that I'm right here. Please know that I exist because you're literally already blocking my view and it hasn't even started. He's like, well, I have to get the angles. Okay, but if you're in front of me during the show, then I'm going to move you out of the way. So their disabled access area, it's a red piece of tape, right? It's just a red piece of tape, and I'm supposed to stay on the other side of that. And so it goes from there to like here, and I have this much room to go back and forth. The entire show, 5 hours, I'm constantly moving and adjusting and getting out of the way of the cameras and the cords and everything. Like, half of the show, it was blocked because they were standing in front of me and I couldn't go to see because that wasn't safe, and fire hazards and all this stuff. I'm like, that's just not a fan experience because no one else went through that. There were even people in the audience saying like, she needs to be up here because I don't even get to experience the shows. Like when they're engaging with the audience and stuff, they don't come down there to me. I don't exist. I literally don't exist. For me to be included, I have to turn around and like dance to them and look like a freaking invalid down here. Okay. It was, yeah. So I was very passionate about it. And I sent an email. Yeah. Cause my mom's like, go online and make a video. That'll get what you need. I'm like, it will, but I'm also in the film industry as well. And these are people that I'll probably see down the line. So I don't want to go about it that way.
Yeah.
But it did feel good to send that email. Like,
good.
It just took a little power back because it's like, how does she know if she doesn't know, even though she knows because she watched that happen to me during the whole set, but she doesn't know how it made me feel.
Correct. Yeah, no, and that really what hit me when you were sharing all that was like one of the things that really strikes me as an opportunity to practice in this community is the ability to advocate for oneself. And the model that we'll call able-bodied individuals can get from that of like, hey, you got to advocate for yourself, bro. Like no one's going to do it for you. And it's like not even second nature in this community because, or it becomes second nature in the disability community because you have to learn self-advocacy. Whereas everyone else, well, they should know better. It's like, what do you mean, bro? They should know better? Says who? Like who wrote that? Where's that in the instruction manual of living? It's like no one's thinking about this. They're thinking about their own stuff.
Right? And last year I went to the same show and experienced the same thing, but I forgot. So
Sure.
this I wouldn't have went back if I remembered how it was. Yes, I
Right.
would have because it was MGK. Oh, listen, okay.
Yes, I would.
Yes, okay. So, but it just reminded me, and obviously I must have been a new person this time around because I was inspired to speak up.
Yes.
Yeah, especially because like I'm putting the effort in to match your guys' theme. I'm always camera ready. If anyone needs to be on the camera, I need to be on your camera. I need my 7 seconds of fame, okay? Like I put hard effort into this. And yeah. So it felt really good. And they
Yeah.
responded to my email. They're like, we'll let Jennifer Hutchin Production know. I said, that's great. And I do appreciate your response, but do you guys have an accessibility coordinator? I need to speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you tell me you're passing my message along doesn't do anything for me. Because if you guys are a production and you don't have an accessibility coordinator, that's a problem. This is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know words and terms like that just due, honestly, to the community, like.
Right.
And it's like, I'm like, people advocate way more than I do, but you have to start somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting my mail the other day, and it's not even just in the disabled community, it's just in life in general. When someone tells you no, you don't have to take that for an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was picking up mail the other day because they weren't delivering it to my complex yet. I was at the post office, and there was this guy there. He had been waiting in line like everyone else, and they're like, your mail's not here. He's like, yes, it is. But they were like going at him about it, and he was like, I'm sorry, but I can't leave. I just got directed here. Please look again. Mm-hmm. They went back and looked, came out with his mail. But that's just that little bit of advocating for yourself. Like, I need you to look again, and I appreciate it, but that your answer isn't enough for me, Same thing, I'm waiting on a new wheelchair and a new leg brace. Mm-hmm. And they called me the other week. It's been months. I'm like calling you guys for weeks and you're not responding. Now I'm getting to be the person. I'm getting to be my mother because why aren't you responding to me? Now I need to talk to your boss.
Right.
Well, paperwork, yada, yada. And I know I'm like, I appreciate you calling me back after a month of me calling you, but I need more information. Like I need Robert to call me back at this point. Like I know how healthcare works and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just got to push the needle. Mm-hmm. And especially because things for us in the community and everyone in life in healthcare just get put on the back burner because of paperwork. Yeah. Like there are some things you just got to go through every page and sign some documents and it could be shipped off. And then there could be someone's new wheelchair coming to them. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. And I know because I've worked at the facility that I'm like trying to get something from. Like I know how your guys' process works. Mm-hmm. Like do better, please, because we're all out here just struggling sometimes, Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
What's something you're super grateful for right now?
In this moment, it's the remembrance of what's important because I could go down this path of like watching this Terminix guy walk around this house and like try to solve a problem and remember that like what's right in front of me is the thing to be with, not, okay, why did this text message not come to me? Why did I not know about this? What do I need to do? Do I need to send him home? Is he going to spray chemicals around my dog? What's he going to spray in my house right now? Like it reminded me yesterday, I had a friend over, I was helping her move and there's a fire that was like, not too far away, a couple miles away. It was 100-acre fire. Like it was a serious fire. It shut down one of the towns. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm not gonna be able to get home. Like there's this wildfire. And she had like a full on body reaction. Like she was in complete autopilot. And I was cool as a cucumber. I was like, it's okay. Like, what do you need right now? I need to go get my laptop. Like, okay, well, the town is shut down and we can't go up that road. So why do you need your laptop? I got to work tomorrow. Okay. Can you do the work without your laptop? No, I need to access these files. Okay. If your laptop were to burn in that fire, are you going to lose your job? No, it'll be fine. Okay. So what's really going on right now? I don't feel safe. Okay. Let's work with that. Where's this coming from? And from a very calm place. Cause like in that moment, that was her reality. Like I need to fix this thing. And like in this moment, similarly of like the annoyance of just like, why is this happening right now? And it's like, cause it is.
Don't fight the moment.
'Cause it is, and the land manager lives here on the land is like handling it, and it's not my job, and to remember that, because I can very quickly dysregulate myself to a place of anger and frustration of like, and then just not be present at all. Just completely miss out on the rest of this time with you because of the frustration that arises when something doesn't go according to my plan. Like I like to say, God has plan A, I'm plan B.
But also, it's kind of nice when things go according to your plan, right?
Totally.
Like when everything is
Totally.
just flowing and the universe is just like, here's this, you get somewhere, there's another parking spot, you get to your next location, you find another parking spot, all the green lights. It's just nice when things are happening in your favor, though. This one
100%.
thing ain't no thing.
No, it's really not. And yeah, it reminds me, like, so when we were talking about confidence earlier, I had a question in regards to like the two things that I see, that I witness you up to, that I would imagine really build confidence, but maybe is more something else, which is dancing and modeling. Tell me about how those things kind of came into your life, and both what they are for you, and then maybe for people listening, how for them to get into it, or ways to just get into their body more.
Mm-hmm. So for modeling, I've always been comfortable in front of the camera. So for me, that I just wake up and that's who I am. For dancing, that's the one that challenges me and builds confidence. That's the one that scares me. You can't grow if it doesn't challenge you,
Mm-hmm.
So that one terrifies me. So that's the one that
Same.
yeah. So that's where I'm learning to be more confident, and I'm actually learning these days with dance to become more in tune with myself. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm in tune with my body until I start dancing, and my body's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you so like I said, for the modeling one, that's just who I am. That's me. That just comes naturally. I don't know. I just smile and I'm there. They do the makeup, they do the rest of the work. And also, I have loved playing dress up my entire life. Like ever since I used to play with Barbie dolls, Bratz dolls and Barbie dolls. I've always been into that type of stuff, like getting my makeup done, wearing new clothes, looking good, all that. It's always been my thing. Back when I was living in Arizona, someone reached out, production team reached out on Instagram. They're like, hey, would you be in our commercial?
Sick.
I literally started this by someone reaching out to me. I had no interest in acting and modeling. Well, not going to lie, but I've wanted to model my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even doing fashion shows. Actually, I was doing fashion shows in Iowa. Now that I think about it, before I even moved to Arizona, I was doing fashion shows and stuff. Yeah, so that part, it's always come naturally. But for like acting and being on TV, they just reached out on Instagram. They're like, hey, would you like to be in our commercial? Okay, And that's how I got my first gig. And then they had me back a few months later and the pay had doubled and everything. And I'm just like, okay, this could be where it's at. Like I can get paid to just be who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And then I know he said, what would I recommend? Like if there's anyone that's wanting to get into modeling or dancing or anything in general, or just getting in tune with your body more. If you're interested in modeling, I'd say, or you want an agency to represent you, do the research. For one, know why you want to model. Don't just want to model, don't just want it. Know why you want what you want. That makes a difference. You need to be intentional with your desires. I had a friend who asked me this and I told her that. She's like, so I just need to be intentional with my desires? No, but when I give you information, I told you to do your research. You asked me how you become a model. I said, do your research on the agencies near you so you can find which one will represent you best. Mm-hmm. And you call me and tell me you just seen an ad on Instagram and you submitted to that agency, and then they hung up on you during your interview call and you haven't heard from them back. You haven't heard back from them. Well, yeah. Well, like, what was your intention? Your intention was just to sign up with some ad that you've seen, but you didn't do any research. You don't even know who that agency is, if they're real, if they want to charge you for anything. Like, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work as well. Mm-hmm. And that's where I started, was researching agencies, different agencies in California and outside of California. But within California, You look through their base, you look through the database, see if there's anyone like you who's similar, who looks like you, or would you be the only one who looks like you, you know?
Hmm.
But I just definitely recommend with anything in life, being intentional with it,
Hmm.
knowing why you're going after what you're going after. It's not enough just to want it, but it's like why, and then go deeper, like break it down
Hmm.
so you can see why you're even passionate about it in the first place. Like, are you
Hmm.
passionate about this? Or do you just want something to do because that's what the next person's doing? Like, yeah, we all want to feel pretty. We all want to do that. But is that what you want? Could you see yourself actually happy?
Hmm.
Because it's this, the modeling life and dancing life, being on production set, it takes a lot of energy. You
Hmm.
know, you think you're going to be there for 3 hours, 13 hours later, you're still there because things don't always go according to plan.
Hmm.
There's so many factors that go into a movie or a commercial, like, and then seeing I'm just one tiny itsy bitsy part, you know, like
Hmm.
there's just so much effort and time and preparation that goes into this type of lifestyle. You don't just want to do it just
Hmm.
because it is going to change who you are as a person. Like the discipline that you're getting all these random auditions and stuff, and you
Hmm.
have to have them submitted by certain deadlines. And there's just all these different things pulling at you. So
Hmm.
just be prepared and make sure so just be prepared and make sure that's what you want. Sorry, I got serious there.
No, it's great. It's true, right? Like life meets you in your preparedness. And that quote, like, we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to the level of our training.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so in that case, when you do the research and you know what to expect, and maybe you bring some extra food or you ask the extra questions to be prepared so that you're not like in a boat where you're like, oh, this boat's taking on water. Well, you should have known that the weather was going to be what it was. You know, it's like that. It just sets us up for success. So I just appreciate the reminder to like be prepared. It's okay. Like, and yeah, it might take a little extra work, but that little extra work could be the difference in them wanting to rehire you or put you on the next shoot or something like that. So I think it has merit and warrant.
And my personality and energy, like who I am as a person, that's what I bring to set, you know? So like why do people thank me for conversations? Like, you know, like you don't have to thank me, but apparently that's the type of interactions. Like, I love bonding with people, like, especially on set, you know, I'll be just chatting with the makeup artist or someone. And it's like, you just never know who you're going to connect with. And you never know, like, what that person, like, one of my affirmations, I am meeting the perfect people with the perfect resources that'll help me take things to the next level. You
Hmm.
know, you just never know who you're going to meet.
There's a question that I've had that is triggered when I see, and not triggered in a bad sense, just curiosity arises when I see individuals in like your case or otherwise, which resides around like individuals in the disability community, from what I understand, and I would love some like insight onto this, is like if you start working, you can lose your disability benefits. And so what does that journey look like in the case of like, okay, I want to get a full-time job and I'm going to say no to this, whatever you want to call it, because I am legitimately curious because I've heard a lot of people are like, I can't go work because I'll lose my benefits, and the conundrum that people find themselves in because of that.
Yeah, that is something I've had to learn how to navigate is Social Security and working, especially coming from someone I've worked since I was 14. So
Mm-hmm.
getting injured wasn't going to stop that. Not going to lie, it should bit me in the ass 1,000 times over because I went back to work full time while still receiving disability.
Mm-hmm.
Bad no no. You know, that's just a big no no. So
Yeah.
what you can do is go to work and work part time. You can't make
Mm-hmm.
each state is different, but you can't make a certain amount. So if you have a job, which is fine, you just like when I lived in Iowa, I couldn't make more than $1,300 a month
Right.
outside of my disability. I go get a full time job, boom, there's that. And then they stop giving you disability. They're just like, if you can work full time, then you're not considered disabled.
Yep.
And I think it just sucks. I don't know. Or you just find ways to work around it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Find ways to work around it like part time. Yeah.
Cash
Yeah.
pay,
Huh?
like under the table pay, like
That is a dream. That's so few and far between, but that
thanks. Yeah.
is the dream.
Right.
Okay. And people don't do that these days, but in a perfect world,
Right.
I would work 40 hours if I could get paid full time.
Yeah.
For me personally, my job just let me go. a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I never would have quit my job.
Right.
But because they let me go like they let me go, so I was able to reinstate my disability.
Yeah.
I would have died because the way I went through my savings living out here, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I went through my savings so quick. It's just absolutely crazy. I don't know why this just reminded me of this, but when preparation meets opportunity, right?
Yeah.
For my apartment, I filled out the application in June and they said no.
Mm.
I let go of my detachment to looking for an apartment at all. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had seen a few, they all denied me, and then I was just like, okay, Denisha, just take a break for a second. This is not what you need to focus on, right? Like we'll focus on apartments down the line, okay?
Yep.
A month and a half later, they called me and they're like, the apartment's yours. I'm like, what are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about? What scam is this? Yada, yada, yada. So a month and a half after wasn't even looking for apartments or anything anymore by this point, you know? And they called me and they're like, it's yours. And that just comes from me, like I detached from the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have known me these last 2.5 years, I have been trying to get to LA, Scott, since I moved to California.
Yeah.
Because I've been creating my life. I've been creating my life in LA. So I'm commuting back and forth every day, an hour and a half each way. Like for 2.5 years, I just did that.
Yeah.
And I was so delusional that I was going to move to LA that I did that for 2.5 years. I continue to create a life for myself here. Every time I'm starting something new, my mom's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it in LA? You live in Lancaster. I'm like, Mom, I can't get the vision out of my head. Like I'm moving to LA.
Right.
And so I even rented an Airbnb for 3 months at the beginning of the year, just so, because I needed to be here.
Yeah.
I was paying more at that Airbnb than I am alone, just for
Way more.
to be living with people at that, random strangers. So that, never again.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do that to make sure that I could afford living on my own.
Totally.
Because my roommate was only charging me $500 a month. So that's what I've been paying here since I've been here. Not anyone can do that, but that's easy with the job, you know?
Right.
So I rented the Airbnb for a bit just to make sure I could maintain that.
Yeah.
And I could, and I did. And I came back for a few months and I didn't even move into, like, I went back to my roommate's house in Lancaster because he's like, you can always come back. You have a room here, room and bathroom. As a disabled person, as a human in general, I'm sure having your own bathroom is just a game changer, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he let me come back, but I'm so delusional in where I'm going. I left all my stuff was in the storage right up the street.
Yeah.
I did not fully unpack, because I'm like, I'm not moving back here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a goal and I'm getting it. Oh my gosh. And just the way it came about too, like how they're like, hey, it is yours after all. And I'm like, oh, well, I have the means to actually move right now. That's just God, nothing but God. And this whole process was nothing but God. Even from the moment they called me, like, you guys call me to tell me I can get an apartment. I don't have a job. What am I going to do? And I was just like, you know what? If God didn't think I was ready for this opportunity, it wouldn't be presented to me. And that's how I went through the whole entire process, was just like, this is nothing but God's doing. So I'm just going to trust it. And I did exactly that, was just trust him throughout this whole process. Life is actually really beautiful, like to witness it happen, especially knowing that I'm happening to life and not the other way around.
Yes.
But
100.
we all got to learn that. And that's probably a quote from something, but it's so true. It's so true, Scott. Like,
it is.
What in the world?
It is. It is the reality of the way that life is actually happening. Is this life's coming through me, for me, by me, to me. And that's expert level living. Most people are like, no, it's happening to me from, like whatever. It's that victim mentality. And it's like, no. Like, I create this thing. It happens through me.
And I think that's one of the reasons that I may be single for a while until I can find a person on the same level of awareness. Like, I don't want a partner that I have to train into this kind of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I need someone already at that same level that can at least understand what the hell I'm talking about, because I could say things like this and they'll be like, yeah, but like, I can't see it. Like, I need to see it to believe it. And it's like, sure. Okay. You take your path, buddy.
Right.
Like,
right.
I'm just a believer.
Yes. 100%.
And it makes a difference. Like, not, you don't even have to believe in God, just believe in something,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Just believe in something.
Yes, I agree. I say, I don't care if you call it Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, spaghetti monster. If you don't believe in something bigger than you, good luck.
That's simple. And you can believe in a couple things even if you want to. It doesn't just have to be
Right.
one deity. Just have
Right.
some faith
Right.
because, dude, without that, you can probably best believe that people, that just might be what's lacking is faith,
Yes.
not in a deity, just faith in yourself or in something like, because wow, that I can guarantee like people, if you were to meet someone that was depressed or they're stuck in their rut, or you can just look at them and see they have a gloom about them. They
Hmm.
probably have zero faith,
Right.
like zero belief in anything. Even if you believe in your cat,
Right.
it could make a difference.
I agree. Yeah, like one of the things I say when I teach breath work, like every day your lungs breathe 20,000 times and you have never once had to ask. Like I call God the thing that breathes my lung and grows the trees. Like they're the same thing. You can call it universal intelligence, source creator, or whatever, Jah, spirit. It really doesn't matter. But there is something about this experience that I'm not responsible for that is intelligent enough to beat my heart 100,000 times a day. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. And I give all the praise to it. And when times are really tough, I do my best to say thank you for holding me. You know, I was thinking about this while I was blessing my food before I ate, was like, thank you for holding me on days that are hard. Thank you for being the hand that holds me when I don't remember how to. You know, and it's something that has taken me a lot of work to cultivate, like reverence for life. Because as a child, I had all the evidence I needed to be like, fuck this thing. Like this thing was out to get me and hurt me and throw me to the curb, whatever. And to over years, over decades, honestly, like really come to find a love for life again. And it's interesting and I've never really talked about this publicly, but for a long time, like I would be like, I love my life. And it was like, life was like, no, you don't. Quit lying, bro. I'm going to show you that you don't. Like, and so what I've gotten to recently is I want to love my life. I'll admit that I haven't, and I would like to. That's my new affirmation is I want to love my life. And life's like, okay, we're going to take everything out of it that you don't then. And I'm just like, oh, thank you for picking and choosing, like, thank you for noticing what I don't, and it's hard, but it's also like trusting in life of being like, yeah, you're going to give me exactly what I need. And sometimes even what I want, mostly what I want, I really, truly believe that life is for me. And that took a really long time to get to. So yeah, just what you said earlier about forgiveness, like really hit me because I can see that there are areas of my life where there's still an opportunity to forgive, to stop being salty, and thinking that I knew and know best what I needed. Yeah.
Absolutely. But like as a child, though, I feel like we can all come to, as a collective, someone that was a child once in life, sure, parents were doing their best, but it could have done a little bit better.
100%.
A little bit better.
100%. Yes.
As my own adult, I recognize that I am my own person.
Yes.
They could have done a little bit better. And
Yes.
people are like, you can't blame your parents for everything. And I actually don't. And I still say, could have done a little bit better.
Yes. No, I 100% agree. Like I did a medicine journey recently and the definition of compassion came through, which was seeing the innocence in my dog's eyes and realizing it's the same innocence in my mom's. And the hand that wants to hit my dog is the one that hit my mom. My mom didn't want to hit me growing up. She just didn't know any better. And I don't want to hit my dog. I just don't know any better sometimes.
Yes.
And I think there's a very real thing of what you're saying here is like, it doesn't do a whole lot of good to blame, like the way is like, yeah, they did the best they could. And it could have been better sometimes. There were some moments when it was like, that wasn't good enough, fam. Like, and I forgive you. And bro, like get your shit together. Like what was that?
I have goosebumps because yeah, that's get it together. And our parents like still till this day, I don't know. My mom has gone bonkers because she had the nerve to say, I never spanked you growing up. That's because what you did to me was worse than that.
Right.
But, but it's just like, how do they get that psychosis, right?
Right.
Like how how can those words even come out of your mouth?
They
And
have
so
to. They have to.
they have to, Scott.
They
They
have
have
to.
to.
I mean, my mom was like, I didn't hit you that much. I'm like, one's enough.
Hmm.
One's enough, you know? And I don't
Yeah.
say that to shame you or guilt you or wrong you. I say that to validate the part of me that has been deeply wounded by your choice of actions. I love you. I forgive you. And one's enough.
Hmm. Do you know what I had to do the other day?
Hmm.
Some deep forgiving, okay? I don't know what I was doing. I must have just been like a sad girl day the other month. But when I'm sad, I like to heal, right? Like when I'm down and out, I like to do self-reflection and just feel what I need to feel and cry it out
Mhm.
if I need to. Like I'll write it
Great.
out till I cry it out. You know what I mean? But I was like, for one, I have forgiven my mom a long time. I've forgiven my mom, but it's like I realized the other day I need to forgive my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Like my grandma slapped me once or something, but like that, I need to forgive my grandma for what she allowed my mom to go through
Yeah.
as a kid herself. But
Yep.
then I'm like, damn. And in that same moment, I'm thinking of like, what did my grandma go through? Like
Yep.
all those generations, they all went through their things, but I can only go back so far. I don't
Yep.
need to really forgive anyone before my grandma, or I haven't met anyone other than my grandma, you
Yep.
know? So like, could I continue? I forgive everyone in my generation, yada, yada. But my grandma's what I know. And I know I carried a lot of resentment, a lot of resentment in my heart for my grandma. Because like every
Yep.
time I'll see her birthday, I'll like, love you, grandma. And then I did it one time and I'm just like, wait, there was a little bit of resentment there,
Mm-hmm.
because even like still till this day, my mom will still tell me stories that I never even knew.
Yep.
That just shows like my grandma in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I appreciate my mom opening up to me. We're so close that she can tell me the things that happened to her as a kid.
Yep.
Where there's some families where they're not like that.
It took my mom 30 years to tell me her story.
Really?
Yeah, my mom, when I was 29, my mom told me what really happened to her growing up, and it was completely different than what she actually told me.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, when she told me what really happened, and I actually plan on getting my mom on the podcast at some point to tell her story because it's incredible. But, like, as a teaser, my mom told me she, like, grew up and went to college and became an accountant and all this stuff. And then when I was 29, going through my Saturn return and, like, got really vulnerable with my parents about what I was really struggling with and like what I was dealing with. And my mom was like, I think I'm ready to tell you my life story. Which if your parents ever say that, like just sit down and shut up, like just listen. And my mom was like, yeah, when I was in the 6th grade or 7th grade, her family was so poor after the Korean War that she got kicked out of school because they couldn't afford it. She was the poorest kid in the village. And she had to join the Korean military at 14. She joined the Korean infantry and was in the Korean military for like the next 4 years and then joined the Korean Secret Service. My mom was like a fucking spy. And then she became a secretary for the number 2, like the VP of the KSA. Like, and I was just like, wait, what? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, and and when she told me, everything made sense.
Yeah.
Everything. Like why she, just everything. Why she would like push my dad's hands away when he would put her arms around her because all these men in the army would do it. Like why she was so scared of being poor, why she forced me to go to college. Like all this stuff made sense in an instant. And yeah, the healing that occurs when the truth comes out, and it's scary. It's hard, but I think that's why I'm so committed to what I do and what I become a space for other people to inhabit this courage. Healing is like the effortless byproduct of being courageous. It's not something we have to go practice. It's just something we have to be willing to do.
Doesn't even matter because you could have accepted him. You could have said yes, done whatever, and just congested your entire day.
Yeah.
You could have just congested your entire day by trying to add more that didn't need to be added on, but you just made you took the right action in the right moment.
Yeah.
And your day will probably be more simple because of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that reflection. Living out in the jungle, it just means that for the next 3 months, I have to be extra cautious about what type of like food I leave out, because cockroaches in the jungle are like, they're like as big as your thumb, they're big. And, that's pure laziness, essentially.
Is Costa Rica a jungle?
Wait.
Do you consider
Yes,
Costa Rica?
yes, for sure. Same thing.
Okay, because they're
Even
bugs.
more so.
They're bugs were like
Different.
that, but they
Yeah.
constantly cleaned, like the host family I was with. I
Yes.
mean, I feel like they get paid to clean their house because nonstop they were just
Yeah.
constantly
Well, they know
cleaning.
what happens if they don't.
Hmm.
We're not meant to live in the jungle. We're living in their house. It's not the other way around. They don't live in my house. I live in theirs.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's real. And this is the thing, like in that moment, you know, because my nervous system is still very calm. And I think this is part of it. Like, you know, just sitting here thinking, I was like, I'm not going to cut this out of the podcast because this is real. You know, this is a part of this game. And I don't play this doctored studio production. Like I play the real, you know, and that to me is more important than look how dialed this is. Like, I don't necessarily want to be dialed. I want to be real. And that I think is what we're lacking in society and often cases where it's like so prettied up and it's like, yeah, but what about the other parts? And it's like, I'm not the only one crying, right? Like, oh no. We just don't show it in the Black Mirror, you know? And it's like, oh, I'm going to show it. Like I've got so many videos of me crying that I'm just going to be like, here you go. Not to be like, please come save me. Like, motherfucker, I've already saved myself.
Right? And so have I. And I think there's so much power that comes within that, with saving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. We'll all have our days, you know, when we're having our pity parties and it's just like shit sucks and that's okay, you know, but no, who's going to bring you out of that? Like you have to be the one to like, I got you, you know, like come the fuck on.
Let's go.
And I grew up on tough love. So I'm a tough lover,
Same.
you know? Yeah. And I kind of appreciate it because there's no coddling. There's no, oh, babe, it's okay. No, bitch, get up and do it. Because that's just
Come on.
just what it is, you know?
Yes.
That's why I talk to my, like, you have to like be tough on yourself and give you that tough love. Like the coddling doesn't always get you anywhere.
Right.
You know?
I agree. There's places for it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
We
there
all
are
need
places,
grace.
yes.
Great. Yes, we all need some grace. I probably give myself grace most when it comes to my walking, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And I will say, you know, they're like, forget object referral and stuff. Some people are like, I need this and then I'll be happy. I need this. I don't care. When it came to getting my own apartment, I was that person.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't just like, oh, I have my own place. So it's just like, oh, I have something else to add to the things I have. No, now I have peace. You know, it's not like I was searching for something, but I knew that having my own space where I can control the environment, where I don't got to come out to cockroaches because people don't clean up after themselves. Like I knew that I deserved more than that. And with knowing that, I know I'm not my environment, right? Like, because I can't, 6.5 years I've been living with other people. So I had to train myself to know that I am not my environment. I am the seer. I'm the one that does the seeing. Like, you know, like even if you were to outside my apartment, I'm downtown LA. There's a lot of encampments and stuff, you know? So people are like, oh, I don't want to walk out around there. That's fine. You also don't have to come over. You know, like that's like that's fine.
Great.
Completely okay. But like,
Yeah.
I'm so happy. This is mine. I did this, you know?
Yes, you did. Yes.
And I don't even care about the encampments outside because I got plenty of stuff. Like, hey, do you need something? I got something for you, but also minding my business.
Right. Yes. Don't save the world.
Well, Scott, I moved here and I'm like, I have to stop noticing every little thing.
Yes.
I just got to turn the other cheek sometimes and just go
100%.
on.
100%.
About the business because like it's crazy out here, you know? Yeah. It's crazy out here. Yeah. But like you do have to know when, like you said, you don't got to save the whole entire world. Like if you can help, okay, but I'm not going to go to every tent and be like, how can I help you? I'm the Black Mona Lisa of the hood or something. Like, what the hell?
That's so good. That's so funny. Oh, man. Well, a couple more questions and we can wrap up. What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
If you got to go at it alone, that's okay. Do not try to worry about fitting in with everyone or trying to have friends because 9 times out of 10, the friends you think are friends probably secretly hate you or they're in competition with you. Yes.
Love that.
Also, I would also tell my 20-year-old self, just work on forgiving whoever you need to forgive now. Because I wanted to arrive to life before I turned 30. that's where the healing, I began doing the work at like what I think I got the book that changed my life at 19. And ever since then, like I've just been completely transforming. I'm like, oh my God. Sorry, I'm 30. I'm 30.
What was that book?
The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
I have it. I've never read it, but I have it.
You have it and you've never read it?
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that book
John
is
Kabat-Zinn, right?
No, it's Deepak.
Deepak. Okay, yeah. No, I have it.
I am who I am because of that book. Like that book was gifted to me at a time when I really needed it. I knew nothing about manifestation. I knew nothing about positive thinking and spiritual awareness. I knew nothing until I got that book. That book changed my outlook on life. I gift that book. Like I will gift it to people. I bought it so many times because I just give it away. Like when I'm like, you could use this, but people, you can turn blue in the face trying to tell someone about something. Okay.
Yes.
That's the book, Game Changer.
Okay. All right. Noted. Lastly, what does it mean to be human?
What does it mean to be human?
Yeah.
Being human means experiencing life and not letting life experience you. Being human means knowing and recognizing that you have the choice to make choices. And that is a power in itself. Like we're one of the only species that have an opportunity to make choices over and over daily. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the power you have and use it for good. Use it for you. That's what being human means to me.
I love that. And lastly, where can people find you and what you're up to?
My Instagram handle is _milk chocolate on wheels. And I'm really good at following back. So if you want to connect, holler at your girl.
I love your Instagram handle. It's so good.
And it still gets people like,
of course, it's so good.
And then I think about branding and stuff too. Like everyone has like their first and last name and their handle. And I'm like, it works. Mine works and I'm just going to let it work. It's
so good. I love it. Denisha, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your light and just being such a lighthouse for the world.
Thank you for giving me the space and thank you for giving me your time, even though you could have cut this short so many times. I appreciate you not doing that and for seeing me and allowing yourself to be seen.
Yeah. No, this is such a treat. It's so good to see you. And I will surely let you know next time I'm in LA. It happens every once and again. I was just there a couple months ago, but now that I know you're there, I'll keep you posted.
And same for Hawaii because
Please let me know.
Breath work and I still want to do ice bath. Those are two things that
guidance. Thank you for reminding me. I want to gift you a session sometime. Whenever you want, I'll send you the link. I think it'll blow your mind. It's so powerful.
I believe it. And okay, so we could have just got into a whole nother thing. So until next time, okay, Scott?
Yes, done. We'll do a next one in person.
Okay, hope you have such a good day.
Thank you as well, Denisha.
Bye.
Bye. And to the audience, thank you for your time and attention and your presence and hearing another person's story today. And until next time, aloha.